What's up, guys? This is Sim with Vengeance, and I'm back here with another MLB 15 The Show Chicago Cubs franchise. And today, your Chicago Cubs are starting the playoffs against, well, we don't know yet. We're going to find out here in just a couple of seconds here who we're going to be facing here in the first round of the NLDS, actually. We're going to take on the Colorado Rockies, Jake Arrieta versus Eddie Butler, John Lester versus Jordan Lyles in Game 2, and Jacob deGrom versus Gus Schlosser in Game 3, in Game 4, and Game 5. We don't know yet because who knows if the series will even get that far. Remember last year in the NLDS, we faced the Padres and we swept them. And this time around, we're facing the Rockies, another NL West team. The Rockies actually have a pretty dang good squad, so we're going to take a look at some awards here. As you see, the Rockies already have covered the postseason MVPs because they were the only ones that have played so far. But you take a look at the National League MVP, the Cy Young. Jake Arrieta won the Cy Young, which is amazing. And you see National League Rookie of the Year, Steven Matz, over, surprisingly, Kyle Schwarber. Unfortunately, Kyle Schwarber was good, but just not as good as Steven Matz. But we'll take it. I mean, Schwarber was one of our best players this year, so we're going to just hopefully win a World Series and break the curse. So Chris Bryant, Silver Slugger at third base this year. Amazing year for him. And you see, Kyle Schwarber just got a didn't even get a silver slugger. He did get a silver slugger. But we're gonna take a look at the American League, just for a real quick rundown of the American League. Edwin Encarnacion hit 51 home runs with a 228 average. All right, I guess we're gonna have to live with that. I mean, I don't expect Edwin Encarnacion to hit such a low, for such a low average, but 51 home runs. I mean, that's like, somebody get that guy tested. I mean, my lord, that's crazy. But if you guys are excited for today's video at all, make sure you guys drop a like. And if you guys are new to the channel at all, there's gonna be more, obviously, MLB The Show coming along. This is the last season of the franchise before we move on to MLB 16 The Show. And we're still debating on which team we want to use. You guys left good suggestions, of course, a few videos ago on that. And I'm going to take everything into consideration. I'm going to talk to everybody who's also doing a MLB franchise. And we're going to go from there. So we're going to hopefully take care of business here against the Colorado Rockies. Eddie Butler versus Jake Arrieta. Jake Arrieta, Cy Young winner. Had an amazing year this year. 18-4 record. Just outstanding. And we expect him to do just that here in Game 1 of the NLDS against the Rockies. Obviously, home field advantage is going to be in the favor of the National League in the World Series this year, so that'll be a plus, right? Having that we've won 107 games, I would hope that we would get home field advantage, and just by pure record alone. But you know, in Major League Baseball, it's all about who wins the All-Star game. That's why the All-Star game means a lot to some teams. Not so much like every team, but a lot of teams it does. Those teams that do make the postseason, they're like, man, I wish I would have won the All-Star game. Man, I really wish that, you know, I'm glad we won the All-Star game, you know, stuff like that. But you see Jake Arrieta on the mound facing Troy Tulowitzki here in the bottom of the first. He is obviously on the Blue Jays right now, but here in this franchise, he's still on the Rockies. As you see, he gets a little dinger, like that barely gets past the pitcher's mound, and Jake Arrieta is able to throw that one on the first and end the threat. So here in the bottom of the first, Eddie Butler is going to run into some trouble here in the top of the lineup with Addison Russell getting that one into left field up against the Ivy. And that one is going to end up being a stand-up double. And that was a nice hitting count right there. It was a nice time to swing the bat and let it rip. So Juan Lagares is at the plate right now for the Cubs. And he's going to take this one into right field for a nice solid single. So Eddie Butler's throwing quite a few pitches here in the first two ABs. So now, can the Cubs take advantage with runners on the corners? With Chris Bryant at the plate, has a running for NL MVP. Didn't quite get it, but he does prove his case right there. Taking that one deep center field. That is gone. 3-run homer for Chris Bryant. And remember where that tirade of he had on the postseason last year. He had it going until the World Series, and then all of a sudden it halted. But this year, we hope he continues what he did last year in the postseason, as he hits that 3-run home run, and Eddie Butler still has to get it out. We already got 3 runs. This is crazy. Let's hope this trend continues, man. We got the firepower to win it all this year. We got some pitchers. We got some hitters now to replace Dexter Fowler, who we had last year at center field. And now our bullpen has improved. Edwin Jackson is probably having one of the best years of his career. So right here, you see, we do give up a double right there to Carlos Gonzalez. He barely sneaked into second base, but Kyle Schwarber, if he would have had a good throw, I pretty much would have ensured that he would have got him thrown out at second. But with Schwarber's inexperience in the outfield, it's going to come back to bite him. But you see Schwarber's getting picked on again at left field. That's another double they just gave up, so it's now 3-1 Chicago as Morneau gets on there with a double, an RBI double to be exact. So now we have Addison Russell here with a 2-2 count, and it seems like after that 3-run homer, Eddie Butler's kind of settled down a little bit. So Addison Russell gets swinging and missing for strike 3. And let's hopefully Jake Arrieta can calm down too, because he did have a little bit of a rough second inning. But you see Kyle Schwarber making up for his inexperience right there, kind of getting picked on last inning. He does get that one right there, diving for it. So that's a great way to make it up. So Kyle Schwarber at the plate, he swings and misses, strike 3. So that's not good. But we still have the lead, no big deal. You see Morneau caught looking to end the top of the fourth right there. So now here in the bottom of the fourth, we do have Jake Arrieta at the plate, but I was trying to actually go for the steal, and I went a little early. I tried to predict him. That's basically how it went down. So that's my fault, and I'm fully responsible for that. But you see Javier Baez coming up with that one, throws it on the first, and he is out. Nice play by Javi to get that one out. And now we're still here having a 3-1 lead. The pitching has done well. We've gotten off to an early lead, and that's kind of helped us out throughout this game so far. Eddie Butler just had to get settled in, and that's pretty much been the story of this game, that first inning, the first couple of innings there. But you see right here, we give up a nice clean double as Juan Lagares is chasing that one down. And that's going to be now 3-2 Chicago as Colorado's in closer to tying the game at least. So now we got to figure out something here. In the bottom of the sixth, Miguel Montero, who has been notorious for the types of pitches that he wants to hit into the opposite field. He's a good opposite field hitter for me in this game. And he does just that right there by getting a nice solid single into left. So now it is 4-2 Chicago. They take their lead back up to 2. And I feel a little bit safer now that Arrieta's kind of, he's given up a couple runs, but I do feel good about also our bullpen. As you see Hector Rondon here up in the 9th with a 2-2 count and a little pop up into left field, but Schwarber's right there to close this one out as the Cubs take game 1, 4-2 here in Wrigleyville. As Joe Madden obviously really happy with the way his team played today. And next game we do have John Lester on the mound, which kind of scares me because I'm not really good at pitching with John Lester. We can come out with a win. So if you guys are excited for the Cubs playoffs, make sure you guys show your support. The Cubs are going to try and break the curse this year. If we do, that'd be amazing, just to go out on top and end the franchise on a really good, solid note. But if we don't, it would be very sad, and wouldn't be that. We don't want that now, do we? We want to break the curse, right? We want to break the curse. You see the final scoreline. You see Chris Bryant was really patient at the plate today. 2 at-bats, but he walked a couple times, had that 3-run homer in the first, and that really kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. You saw Miguel Montero get that RBI single on top of that as well. So the Cubs just did really well today. They set themselves up for success, and hopefully they can get these early leads and keep them throughout the rest of the game. That's what we did today, and hopefully we can continue that throughout the rest of the series. See Arrieta, player of the game, 10 strikeouts today, 7 innings pitched, 2 earned, and just a fantastic performance. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're a first-time viewer, hit that subscribe button, drop that like button as well. You guys are amazing supporters, and you know we're making great strides in helping this channel grow. But until next time, my name is Sim with Vengeance. You guys have been amazing as always, and I'm out of here. Peace.